The United Nations Information Center and Women Arise for Change recently organized a public lecture to mark the 2018 16 Days of Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Idiat Adebule, who was the special guest at the event, said more laws have been put in place to ensure survivors of domestic violence are well catered for.
In 1993, the United Nations issued a declaration on the elimination of violence against women after noting several human rights violations on the female gender. Sadly, 25 years on, many still suffer from domestic violence. To speak up against such cases, the United Nations Information Center in Lagos and Women Arise organization organized a public lecture to mark the 2018 16 Days of Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. The president of Women Arise, Dr. Joe Dumaki, tells harrowing experiences of women who suffer from various forms of domestic violence.
We all know the case of Arolo when it happened. A banker, he was always beaten and everything. It was the husband's birthday, he brought cake, happy birthday, darling. He was stabbed about 85 times. That one happened in Aribo. This girl was always chained. The one at the middle was chained with her legs wide open. So the neighbors saw rats eating underneath and had to call us. We're going, I just give examples. It's not any particular religion, but he's a pastor with the husband. And it was Sunday, they went to church. They had changed this one, and also this one walks naked. Since she's been employed, that's what she does, walk naked. So we got there, and as soon as she looked and saw me, said, please, I will never do that again. Well, she was arrested. The case is still in court. She's still begging, and these girls will have helped to locate their parents.
The guest speaker is the United States Consular General John Bray and the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Idiat Adebule, both address the need for a collective effort to end gender-based violence.
We must work together as stakeholders in order to be proactive and curb the violence against women and girls. Where we fail to prevent such violence, it is also important to make those who engage in violence and abuse know that there is no impunity for their crimes. We must collectively ensure that we end the culture of silence, encourage survivors to come forward, and ensure that these victims receive legal, psychological, and the social support that they require.
We must continue to create the platform and the synergy to speak vociferously and take action against this inhumanity against humanity. We cannot continue to be aloof or stand on the defense as women in our society are being treated as property, degraded and tortured. In particular, are the women in the rural areas who continuously live under fear and threats of physical and mental and psychological abuses.
Dr. Adebule also explains the various mechanisms put in place by the state government to handle cases of domestic violence.
Our administration, led by His Excellency Mr. Akiwumi Ambode, has always been committed and aggressive towards the protection of women against all forms of violence. He led the first all-men symbolic work against sexual and gender-based violence and backed 25 years jail term for prescribed for rapists and perpetrators of all forms of domestic violence. The Lagos State government established the first of its kind special courts dedicated to prosecute sexual offenders and speed up the administration of justice. In addition, the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team, a special unit in the Ministry of Justice, was created to assist victims and survivors in need of emotional, professional, and financial support. The campaign to speak out has equally been taken to schools and communities in the state with a view to curb these awful crimes.
In the end, it's more than just an international day to be commemorated.
From statistics, about 43% of women in Nigeria have been married before age of 18, and 17% are already married before the age of 15. That is huge. And again, Nigeria has the highest number of child brides in Africa, and one of the highest in the world. That is a very serious statistic. How do we address this? Because if you don't address the issue of child bride, then you'll be jeopardizing access to education by these girls. And if a girl doesn't have access to primary education, she is going to have limited access to higher education. And if she has a limited access to higher education, she's also going to have a limited access or limited movement up the ladder.
Statistics by the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team puts the number of reported cases between July and September 2018. This is the highest reported figure within 3 months since 2011, with the highest reporting clients falling between the age of 18 and 45. The figure could be more, but for the absence of a well-coordinated, centralized database.
We can have a collaboration whereby the DSVRT will be a coordinating agency or committee carrying out this data, and where we are going to have an interface. And we can also expand the scope to build capacity of these various institutions or various MDAs through the DSVRT for appropriate data collection, whereby we can create a kind of information management system.
With increased awareness, a centralized database, and a directory for organizations, experts believe that support for victims of domestic violence can be scaled up. Several women have lost their lives to domestic violence, but several others have also been saved. Silence is no longer golden.